Trigger warning, this episode contains torture and dismemberment. Hi, I'm Keegan, and this is A Bunch of Gamers. This is our 175th episode of Werewolf the Apocalypse, 20th Anniversary Edition, The Crafter. I'm going to go around and have my players introduce themselves.
I'm Tyler, and I play Kyle, also known as Guards the Low. He's a Philodox of the Children of Gaia.
Hi, I'm Sam. I play Cora. She's an Aruna in the Geta Fenris.
Hi, I'm Adam. I play Mark Guides the Fallen, and he's a Thurge of the Children of Gaia.
Hi, I'm Sean. I play Zeb Speaks-in-Sweet-Whispers. He is a Theurge of the Silent Striders.
Hello, my name is Riley, and I am playing Dimitri Howls-In-Memory, Lupus Galliard of the Bone Gnawers.
Hi, my name is George. I am playing William Grows-Matrices. He is a rune of the Glasswalkers.
Last time, the Pax had escaped the nuclear explosion at Pearl Harbor and found Jonathan Nightbiter, enacting revenge and making sure that his name was struck from the silver record. They performed the rite of Gaia's vengeful teeth before finally returning to Sacred Stone. At Sacred Stone, they confronted Carson Faces the Storm, who was going by the guise of Alvin Stormchaser, about his work with the Good Doctor. Carson admitted that he had already betrayed the Sept and had been torn apart. As time moved forward and the Pax tried to help around the Sept, Zeb received a spiritual message from his sister Constance that she needed help in Kansas City. So Zeb, there are no nearby Karens to Kansas City, so you'll either have to steal a car, use a gift, or just take the long way, running.
Is there anything that gets us, beyond Colorado?
You could hitchhike at that point. Or you could get to Denver and maybe take the Amtrak.
I mean, I can just do it the gift old-fashioned way. That's fine. I will use the phone that I have a spirit in. I will, you channel Gnosis in the form of a calling card. I will, direct. Send text message to, Constance Ashby, location, Kansas City.
Okay.
And let her know I'm on the way.
Cool.
And ask where she wants to meet.
She says that she wants... You get a text back pretty quick. The
Right.
text says that she wants to meet at Virgil's Cafe. She gives you the street corners.
Okay. Zeb will jokingly respond, no burrito gong, frowny face, and then I will spend the 6 Gnosis to run the amount required for everyone involved to get to this location.
All right. 2 days of running at full speed. You get there, and Kansas City is not in a great state. And in that case, I mean situationally, not the just, constant truth of being in the state of Missouri. Is police are everywhere. It's kind of just tense. There are protests everywhere. There are conservative groups who are raging against the fact that Rachel Wilson has been elected president, and they've taken their ire to the streets. At least 2 quote-unquote progressive businesses that have had either union or LGBTQA plus supportive flags have been firebombed in the city. Antifa groups are starting to gather, and they are starting to come armed as the city is starting to kind of really be on edge. As you get to Virgil's Cafe and you see Constance waiting inside patiently.
Alrighty. Guess we'll roll on in.
You roll on in at around noon as she's there, and she nods and gets you into the quiet little corner. Zebulon, as she kind of stands up and gives you a hug.
I'll give her a hug. Constance, the gang, he'll introduce them. Gang, Constance Ashby, first child and daughter of Ruth Harmony of Solace.
It's nice to meet all of you.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
Likewise.
But I guess we should get to hard tax, huh?
I try not to be a deadbeat leeching off the farm. I'm a little worried that you've left.
Yeah, left the farm. My partner is staying at Boston right now, and well, I've been having these I left the farm because, well, lots of things. I'm sorry, I've got 100 things in my mind. I guess the first thing is that I saw a spiral near the farm before I left. I tried to chase it off. I got my gun, fired a couple rounds, but whatever it did, the damage was done. Nearly every animal on the farm was getting sick. The had to call it in. The CDC showed up, and they put down every last one of the animals on the farm. Every last one. There's worries that maybe some of the mice got infected too, given how much whatever this was jumped to everything. And so I came here because there's a large population of kinfolk here, but, we're kind of on our own. There's no nearby septs, and some of them have gone missing. And the closest sept has lost a few of their number in a recent raid, and so they're trying, but they're spread real thin.
Do you think like police are rounding up some of the kinfolk, or you think it's something else?
I'm sure the police have rounded up some. They've been rounding up a lot of people. Protesters, counter-protesters, people who are just in the wrong place at the wrong time, who look like they're part of the riots, or that they're going to.
Shit. Where are you staying right now?
I'm at the Motel 404.
I wish you'd gone with Ben back to Boston, but here we are.
We wanted to split up. If we could talk in private, I can tell you some of my concerns.
Absolutely. On the subject of here in the city, do y'all want to check out the local sept and look into this?
The local sept is about 50 miles to the north. 50, 60 miles to the north.
Gotcha. Most of the kin live here in town because it's the biggest city, I'm sure, so...
That, and there was a Bonar sept here, but it fell or a Glasswalker sept, but it fell 20 years ago. But it's hard to root up everyone and send them packing, so they've created kind of a network here to keep kin safe in case they need some place to go.
If you can give us some contacts to take down, we can go and kind of canvas with other people that you might know and look into that stuff.
Sure.
That's not a problem. Here, guys, we'll just step out for a smoke real quick, and we'll talk.
Of course.
All right.
Take your time.
All right. As you guys step out, Constance kind of takes a couple deep breaths, smokes, gets a good drag on her smoke. So, well, it's awkward, but it's been bugging me a lot. And you've talked about visions. Do you know if any kinfolk ever get visions?
It's not unheard of. There's been a few things that have been changing for people lately. I know there's been kinfolk that had extrasensory perception.
You see her visibly shiver and, almost looks like she's ready to throw up.
What have you seen?
It's this reoccurring nightmare where I'm standing over you. There's blood everywhere. And I have a silver knife in my hand, and I'm skinning you alive. And you're screaming, unable to fight back, as I'm just peeling away your flesh under the crescent moon.
Keegan, I would do two things here. One, if I could roll Sense the Unnatural on her to see if she's under any effects that I might know of. And then two, an occult roll if I can kind of think about if that's like Black Spiral Dancer Theurge type rite of passage or something else.
Okay, sure. So, Sense Unnatural first. For Sense Unnatural, it's not anything you've smelled really. It's kind of a weird smell of, it smells like parts of the Umbra that you've been to. The dream realms that linger around her, meaning that there seems to be something of that, but it seems almost like you also get the smell of the forge, as if someone hammered these dreams.
All right, and then occult roll, please.
All right.
What would the diff be?
Intelligence occult, and the difficulty will be 8. So, there's been rumors, on and off, in your travels, for a good year, maybe 2, of a child of Gaia kinfolk who had gone to something known as the Valkenburg Foundation, a glasswalker facility to treat mentally ill Garu whose sanity is shattered and have tried to be rehabilitated. This kinfolk, however he did it, discovered an ancient rite, or created a new rite, that allowed him, under specific auspices, to skin alive other Garu and become a Garu himself, known as a Stolen Moon. And that he occasionally goes to kinfolk and teaches them this gift so that they can exact revenge upon their favorite relatives and gain power because of it. I believe the name was Samuel Haight.
Sure it was. Con, I'm going to be straight with you. The reason why the farm was attacked by a contagion is my fault. And that's because there's a servant of the Wyrm out there that's taking its revenge on us for fighting it. And it went after all of our families. Some of them have been killed. Others have just been forced in this way to be on the run. And they're targeting you more and more. So first, this doesn't reassure you for shit. There's somebody that's actively trying to do this to you, to make you more and more disturbed. You have every right to be angry at me because I caused this to happen, the same way that I killed Dad and set this ball rolling. And I've tried to avoid making more problems for you, and I've brought this on you. So I want to be very honest that no one's blind. I'm not blind to the fact that this is my fault, and I'm sorry. I would keep around kinfolk here.
Okay.
I will do everything I can to make sure that there are people that can help support you. I understand not wanting to be turned into a Guru curiosity, like a lamp in a sept. So whatever I can do, let me know. The other part, and he'll relate the part of the Valkenburg Foundation. The idea that somebody could do what you're describing is, of course, a heinous and disgusting thing. Okay, and it's vengeance. And the first key is that you don't have to even forgive me. You have to acknowledge, or I need to acknowledge to you and have you hear it, that this is my fault for this happening, and I will do everything I can to stop it. But it's still the shitty part of fighting the Wyrm. And we all thought you were going to be the one to go through the first change, and it didn't. So you've seen the life for a long time. But that's the long and the short of it. What else can I answer for you on this? Again, I'm so sorry, Con.
Wow. Thank you for your apology. I guess best you can do is make sure everyone else here is safe. That Sep's not coming to help. They're 7 Garu strong, protecting a moderately powerful Karen. But you guys are here to help. And so I want you guys to help us, because some of the kin have been going missing. And I don't think it's just the police. I don't. I can give you some names, and I know someone has been at least kind of looking into it on our behalf.
Zeb will take that. Zeb will give her the warning. Stay away from blank website. Stay away from this, basically tell her at least enough about the good doctor to just say, look, someone's approaching you, telling you about this, advertisements that bombard you, all that stuff. I know any rational human being would look to try to deal with the trauma. That is an avenue that people are being abused. That is an avenue that people are being exploited, and we've seen terrible things happen. So if I can track down people or contacts for counseling and for help, I'll absolutely do that. And we can talk to some folks, here in town for that. But just be aware the things you would look to remedy yourself, and you can hit me up on this anytime. Just you're a pragmatic person. That's why I'm telling you this, Con. Don't do that. When you're being chased into making what you think are good decisions, are the way that someone tries to come after you and exploit you more.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you good for a while where you're staying? Do we need to get you any money or anything to cover?
I got some money. I sold the farm.
Fair enough.
A little below market value, but with a huge outbreak like that, there wasn't much choice.
I have a feeling you aren't the first portion of the real estate market to be manipulated that way. I'm glad your partner's safe. I'm glad you're safe for now, and we'll go check out. We'll have like one more cigarette outside to kind of let her get other things off her chest, Keegan,
Yeah.
and then we'll head inside.
All right, as you guys sit inside, and
I'll relay to them
okay,
the contacts and the situation and the stuff that's close by and
So,
kind of what we
she-
should look into.
so she goes, well, here are some of the kin who know the most about what's going on that are kenning. Rico Davenport, Kyla Bright, Darren Richard, Kendra Mullen, Francis McCarty, Lee Andrews, and there's a Ronin Garu who rolled up into town maybe 3-4 months ago, going by the name of Natalie Davis. Dimitri, that name rings a bell. They were one of the kinfolk at Winterfang. She was the one who took you out on hunting trips so long ago and said goodbye to you. It sounds like she had her first change as a incredibly late bloomer.
I think I know that Garu. I remember her from Winterfang. She was a kinfolk the last I saw her.
Oh.
She probably had her first change.
Yeah, she came from Hidden Glade, but she said that she originally started at the peak of the Sentinel Mountain and then went to Hidden Glade later to check on some kinfolk, and that her first change happened there at some point.
Interesting. It'll be good to see a familiar face then.
Yeah, she's up at a warehouse. Here's the address. If you want to talk to her
Thank you.
first, coordinate your notes.
All right, thank you.
All right. So you guys head that way then?
Before we go, I'll tell her to call Mom. Tell her what happened. Don't fuck up the way I did.
I already did.
She on the way?
She is. She's dealing with some Silent Strider stuff. Something about some of the young Cleoth Striders being able to see ancestors.
Yeah. All right. Well, hit me up if you need anything. And lay low from this lady from Winterfang until we investigate her and talk to her a little bit, okay? Stick with the kinfolk kind of that you know a little bit closer, and I'll hit you up when we find out.
Okay. So you guys kind of go to the warehouse. It's kind of ramshacked, partially abandoned. There's weeds growing up through the concrete, ivy wrapping up some of the chain link fence. As Dimitri, you see a familiar face walking through this, decimated parking lot that's clearly been cordoned off by this fencing.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop the fence.
All right.
Zeb will look at Kyle and tug on his ear.
Well, I guess I'm using mental speech, which I haven't written down yet, so give me 1 second.
Also, maybe your fancy earrings that you've had since.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm going to be doing that too, but I want to know what I'm looking for. And Kyle I assume that you did not tell us about the skinning and such and all of that.
Yeah, he kept that to himself as a vision, but we'll
Okay.
intimate a part of that.
Oh, while you're looking that up, Dimitri, you hop the fence as she goes, Dimitri! She drops whatever she's doing. She runs over and catches you in a hug.
Yeah, Dimitri's gonna return the hug. Hey.
It's so good to see you. She squeezes and she ruffles up your hair just like she used to.
And after the embrace, he's gonna take maybe a step or two back, get maybe a good look at her, and say, "You look like you haven't changed all that much."
Yeah, I guess I was a lost cub. Explains the anger after Winterfang, right? Just the want to do something, try and help.
Yeah. How have you been? Word on the street, I heard you were a Ronin? Or is
Yeah.
that just a misunderstanding?
No, I decided to go with no tribes. The Garu Nation just I saw how they turned their backs on us, right? And how they just, I don't know, just it just didn't feel right.
I understand. I struggled with it for a long time too, but maybe things could have gone differently, but I don't think anyone really knew it fell until after the fact.
I guess, but then they knew. I know you guys went to take care of it, but, where were the armies? Where was, surely, right, the nation could have done something, anything. It just seemed right to go out on my own, and I'd been, it took so long before I became that it just made, more sense to just not,
Dimitri will nod and say, I understand. And I don't know, all the stories I hear of Ronan, are you doing all right? Like, I heard you've been visiting other septs. Are they treating you okay?
They don't treat Garu who don't join a tribe well. And Zeb, as you try and smell for the worm, there's nothing. She's completely clear of it. Not a trace of worm taint upon her.
Well, I heard that you were in the area, and my friends and I, we've been hearing of kinfolk going missing. I was wondering if you'd be willing to share some notes.
There's a black spiral in town. Got their scent a couple times, and I've been trying to track them down.
Where do they seem to frequent?
They seem to frequent the riots. They seem to wait till things get chaotic to steal folks. And back to Kyle and Zeb, what's your mental conversation?
Zeb will bare bones mention skinning as a technique for kinfolk to become Guru. And we're talking to a fucking Ronin, and I don't give a shit. And this is all not feeling good. But she doesn't show taint from what I can tell. Can you look?
Yeah, I can do that. It hasn't seemed like she's lying yet, at the very least.
If she shows that she knows any gifts, then I think we're in trouble.
But Dimitri, she's there, and I don't know what she's doing. I don't know if she knows she's taking kinfolk. Sometimes I think she does. But the fang does not change color, Kyle. Or it changes a little bit because of the area, so the normal, if you used it, worm taint area.
Regular warehouse stuff.
Yeah. And I don't know why she's taking them. I've heard some things about this spiral. She's made a name of herself as an Adrian, as what they call a living fetish crafter.
Is that a phrase that Dimitri would recognize?
Dimitri knows that real fetishes, cannot be placed within living things. But living fetishes or spirits being bound to flesh, especially Banes, create Fomori.
So you're saying that she makes Fomori?
Yes, but she treats it like the art of fetish craft. Apparently all the spirals do. The things you learn when they try and recruit you, right?
Has she tried to recruit you?
Other spirals have. She is not. I don't think she really knows what to do with me.
I see. Alright, well, do you know her name? Or do you have a description?
I do know her name, yeah. She goes by the name of Brakthrapham, and she is a third of the Black Spiral Dancers.
Yeah, from what you told me, I expected as much.
She's plain. She's a wallflower, and she seems to intentionally keep herself as such. She wears pretty standard clothing when she goes out in her Hamid form that I've seen, and have tried to get in the way of her trying to take a victim who was kin once, but couldn't shift because it was in the middle of a riot. She's got brown hair, blue eyes, wears very little makeup, medium-length hair. She just tries to do everything to appear average.
Okay. Sounds like somebody that doesn't want to stick out. Has there been anything else going on, other than the spiral dancer, that we should keep an eye out for?
Well, there's the groups attacking everything which way in that. That's not helpful. The police are everywhere, so it's hard to do anything.
I can imagine. All right. Well, I'm gonna share what you told me with my friends, and I guess we'll be in the area for a while. We'll let you know if we have any more questions.
Sure.
Are you staying here? And Dimitri's gonna point at the ramshackle warehouse.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Before we go, the kin that are being taken, do you know if they have anything in common?
No, because some of them are Callow adjacent, where they kind of knew something was going on, but they didn't know the full breadth of anything Garu. But it does seem like she is able to target kin more often, but I don't know how. Your earring does not shake or vibrate, indicating any sort of lie.
Okay, thank you.
Be safe, Dimitri. I really want to see you again.
You too. Be careful out here.
Okay. What's the next course of action?
Well, kind of sounds like everybody was there anyway, but Dimitri's gonna kind of go over everything that he was told and say, I think I could probably start with going out on the streets asking people if they've seen a woman matching the Spiral Dancer's description.
I think we need to go to the Sept, talk to the guru that are there. I'm incredibly suspicious of the random Ronin approached by the Black Spiral Dancer Theurge for recruitment. I'm suspicious of any Ronin, and I'm suspicious the amount of hate in her heart that she would have to not want to join because Winterfang fell.
Well, Zeb, why wouldn't she be angry?
Anger is one thing, damn it, I got it. And there are plenty of groups to go to not just forsake the Guru Nation. And going Ronin, and I want you to understand this, you realize no gifts. The only way that they learn them is an abomination through other Guru daring to teach them to them. So either she is completely isolated, or she has done things she should not have done to make her way. Either way, it's a bad way. There's plenty of reasons, right, to not have to dislike the Guru in the area. But to do that to the rest of the spiritual world, no.
I understand. It's just, I guess I'm biased because she's an old friend and I don't know what she's been through since I last saw her.
Very likely more bad than good.
I can imagine. I was actually thinking of using Dream Speak tonight and see if I can find out more. Because from the stories I've heard, being a Ronin is isolating and lonely, and I want to know who she's been in contact with. She mentioned the Spirals trying to recruit her, and that doesn't sit well with me.
Same, but maybe for different reasons. We are 6 Guru of renown that have descended upon the city that belongs to the territory of another. We should go to the place where the Guru maintain themselves and find out the situation. If we start to fight their enemies for them, and they are few in number, it creates more problems for them, and the picture is incomplete. And they may have already communed with spirits and know more than we do now. Obviously, I have interest in making sure that the kinfolk are okay.
Perhaps we could set a spirit to watch? Obviously not all of the kinfolk, but your Ronin friend.
I think that would be a good move to make.
I could command a spirit to keep an eye on her. It does. I guess it depends on what kind of spirit I'm commanding.
So you'd have to go into the Umbra first to find a spirit.
Okay. I will... Okay, yeah, we gotta make that roll. Unless you all want to come with me. Other than that, I can phase through myself.
What's the strength of the gauntlet here, Keegan?
In the city, it's all the way up to 9 now. Though with each hour of meditation, you can bring down that difficulty by 1 to a total of -2.
Alright, so I shall pass into the Umbra. Let me make that roll. So you said it was 9?
Unless you spend 2 hours meditating.
I mean, I got 8 gnosis.
Keegan, I think I have a better way.
Okay.
I'll sit and meditate for it to drop to 8. I will go and interact with some of like the glass spirits, like whether it's in the panes of glass or whatnot that are part of the building. I will pay my final gnosis to one of them to keep watch and see what appears in their reflection.
Okay. So you do that, you give it to the spirit, and the spirit shows kind of a reflection following your Ronin friend. She's just getting stuff, so you see that she has a lot of weaponry as she's just preparing. Whether that's, she has like a silver knife, she has several guns, so it seems that she's very comfortable fighting in Hamid and Glabro form, and seems to have quite a few explosives lying around.
Well, I'd say your friend is up to something. Though that was mean-spirited, Dimitri, I'm sorry. I'd say this person might be up to something. You haven't seen her in years. You probably don't know who she is anymore, truthfully, brother.
I had a feeling. It's just, I don't know. I had a feeling she's probably changed more than I've realized.
We all have. You're not the naive cub that survived that attack anymore. Are we in agreement as packs to go to the Sept, or would we like to investigate more here in the city?
I think going to the Sept really should be our first order of business.
Agreed.
Yes, let's go to the Sept.
The next question will be how. Zeb is out of Gnosis, so he will have to rest and hunt.
If you guys are walking, it's about a 40-hour walk. Though with you guys being a bit more physically fit, you'd probably be able to drop that to about 35 hours.
I think we should probably steal like a truck. I think it should be relatively easy considering the state of the city.
Yeah.
Because there have been riots, it should be pretty simple to find a place that has a semi-truck or something that has been evacuated, I suppose, for lack of a better term.
So could I get a stealth larceny roll? It'll be diff 5.
I have all the stealth if it went off of like technology or something else, but all right, larceny. I mean, I have 5 stealth, but
That's good enough then.
all right,
So
but it
5
raises
dice.
the diff to what? That's gonna raise it to 8, right? No larceny. I mean, skill
No.
plus skill, but no larceny.
It'll drive it up to 6.
Okay.
Oh, that's nifty.
I will spend a willpower for an automatic success.
All right.
All right. Oh,
All right.
look at that.
You successfully steal a car, and you guys start driving up. You get close to the Sept grounds as you approach Bilby Ranch Lake. As you approach the small Bonar and Children of Gaia Sept, there are 3 Bonars and 4 Children of Gaia running this Cairn. The elder of the Cairn is an Athro, known as Jacob Harvest's Howl.
We'll introduce ourselves, I suppose, and explain to them why we're here.
We heard about the kin and there being some problems. I didn't know about the Black Spiral there. Disgusting that there's a Ronin there doing our job. But we're just too spread thin. Could we offer you some Gaia's breath and perhaps even from our own reserves? Perhaps a chameleon skin?
I don't remember that one, Keegan.
A chameleon skin is you use this fetish. It's generally a belt or a headband. This one, in this case, it's a headband. It's pretty old, and it looks like one of those old hippie headbands. So this one has seen some use. It's most effective in the wild and densely overgrown areas. And when it's active. It works like the younger brother gift camouflage, save that the power may function whenever to whatever the environment the fetish is attuned to, and in this case, it is grasslands. So if you have this in grasslands, you are extremely well hidden, because camouflage is the difficulty to spot you when this is active is increased by 3.
Whoa.
In grasslands specifically.
I'm torn because that's a really good item, but they might need it more than we do.
That to offer a fetish like that as a payment is definitely a sign of desperation for the Sept.
Is the sept in grasslands?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're desperate for help.
I think we can decline in the spirit that it's given and offer our help. What do y'all think?
I like that idea.
I say we decline the chameleon skin because I just feel that's just them really asking for our help, that they're willing to give up one of their sept fetishes, like one of their fetishes, and it's like, no, brother, we don't do that here.
Zeb will step up. I believe my fellow Alpha in here and I are both of the same mind. We're here to track down and fight the Wyrm here. We know there's a problem and we're connected to some of the kinfolk that are here. We'd only ask to be able to hunt here, to rest, and then to go back into the city and anything else you know. Zeb will tell him what he saw from the Ronin and being a little bit suspicious of what she stockpiled and what's gone on.
We also, Mark will tap Zeb's shoulder, also tell him about the black spiral that came to try to recruit her.
Well, and right, so clearly it's who the hell lives when the black spiral dancers come and ask you to come, when they come knocking and you say no. But we can look into that part too. If they're connected, we're going to find out pretty quickly.
That is concerning. If the spirals approached her, did she kill the spiral? Did you get any clarification on that?
No, that spiral is definitely still alive, and the power of that spiral apparently allowed it to happen. And I believe then you and I are of one mind that if there's any gifts that she's learned, I don't care to know how she learned them. And I'm a little bit shy when I've heard about some of the new skinning rituals that have made their way amongst Wyrm followers.
Yes, I know. I've heard several places have been ravaged by a few stolen moons in their midst, as kinfolk have been turning on their relatives.
Normally, if she was left destitute after the fall of the Scepter of the Winterfang, how she's getting all of these things stockpiled in a warehouse outside of the city, unchecked, or in the city, I have many, many questions. We owe you more to look into that, but we will do everything we can to protect your kin here. One of mine is here. She is laying low after the Wyrm had made moves against her and some of the kin in our area of Wisconsin.
Well, if you can deal with the spiral first, if that spiral is really there, then I think that takes top priority over any sort of Ronin or stolen moon. I know that the stolen moon will become a danger later, as it can teach their tainted right to other kin in the area.
Absolutely.
But a spiral is a more immediate threat.
All right, we'll hunt and rest here if you don't mind, and then begin our move.
All right, you guys do your hunt. You can do a stamina primal urge. If you spend a point of rage, you can increase the pool by +2, maximum of 2 rage spends.
Mark will spend 2 rage.
All right, you're still over your permanent rating, so you still will have to do a frenzy check after, which means it's a half moon, which means that you need to roll at diff 7 because of your rank.
Okay.
You got close to frenzying, but you didn't quite.
Ooh.
Yep, so, and then everyone else make your stamina primal urge checks, please. If you succeed with 1 success, you get full gnosis. Looks like everyone got some gnosis back. So, with that, you rest for the day after a long-ass drive. And you guys set back off, driving, as you go back into the city. There is a couple riots that you see from the distance. Several gas canisters getting launched by the police. People screaming, gunshots going off as protesters and counter-protesters begin to fight in the streets before the police start to corral people up. Several businesses are being burned to the ground. And there are several bullet holes in the state capitol, or in the City Hall, based on the back and forth fighting. As you finally get back into the city, where do you guys want to go now?
I think our first step should be to check in with the spirits who are watching our Ronin. And then after that, we can start looking for the spiral. I know they said that was their top priority, but I think it makes sense to at least confirm the information that's been gathered.
Agreed.
Yep.
All right. So the spirit lets you know that they have been tracking. They've tracked that your Ronin was at the riots, seemingly to protect the kinfolk, and then was following someone south until they went into one of the poorer areas of the city, and they followed that person to a house, didn't do anything yet, but has been setting up like security cams and a few explosives.
Clarification: the person in the house is doing this, or our
The Ronin, your Ronin friend is doing that.
Okay, so like she's keeping security cameras on the house.
And then setting up some explosives, yeah.
Okay. I wonder who's in that house that's garnered our Ronin's attention.
Clarification, Keegan. Is she setting up like cameras looking out from the house because she's barricading inside of it, or because she's observing the house doing stuff to it?
She's doing stuff to it. She's observing the house. The person she was following went into that house, and as soon as they went inside the house, they started setting up cameras, and they set up a couple of cheap explosives.
Okay, cool. Got it. Thank you.
So the owner of the land, maybe getting a name.
Yeah. The owner seems to be one of the big investment companies, and the house is not in great shape.
I'm having a feeling that with the riots happening, the spirits and negative energies coming from all of this is the perfect place for a Black Spiral Thurge to do her experiments. This could very well be the house she's occupying.
That's what I'm thinking too.
It's possible. Or it's possible that this is all set up here because this person looks exactly the way the Ronin described her, and we will follow and then get blown up. That might be paranoia, but...
Well, it's a healthy paranoia considering what we deal in. But
William,
with the technologies, I could jam them. The cameras, the explosives.
I don't think we want to do that yet.
Okay.
William, could you hack into the cameras? Let us see whatever she's seeing?
Yeah, I can do that. I just have to get close enough to do so. I can't do it from all the way over here.
Well, I guess we should go scout out a house.
As you guys go to the house, William, you get in, you hack into, you use a plug and play, I'm guessing?
Yeah, make it easy.
Open up the software, and you're just getting a feed from the camera pointing at the house. You notice that the camera, there's one at each entrance, and then it seems to be as it's holding there, you notice that they've been running a timer, and the timer's been going down. Looks like there's 2 minutes left on the timer.
Well, we have 2 minutes to figure out if we need to get in there and rescue the person, because I'm pretty sure this timer on the camera is going to set off the explosives. Or we just let it happen. I don't know who's in there, so we need to either... I say we go in and rescue them.
Keegan, you said these were cheap explosives. Does that mean that they are low yield?
More like they're volatile. Like, there's a decent amount of them, but cheap as in... if you shake them a little too hard, you get mittens for the rest of your birthdays.
Would this be something that we can technically jam?
You could, though.
Yeah.
The trigger, yes. The chemical reaction would be a higher difficulty.
Okay.
I feel the trigger is more important right now, so yeah, I would definitely do jam technology on some sort of trigger in the area.
Okay.
How long does that last? Is it permanent, or...?
No, it's per success, and it's like 1 turn per success.
So we should save that towards the end to give us a buffer.
I just throwing shit at the
2
wall.
turns per success.
If you can see the timer, I'm gonna guess that somehow the timer could be increased or changed or something, unless the camera's just pointed at a physical timer that we can see.
No, I think that's... Keegan, can I actually just look into what this timer is?
Yeah, it looks like
I was guessing.
It looks like they just programmed the cameras to have a timer go down to correlate with likely what was put on the explosives themselves.
That's what I thought. Okay. So yeah, the timer is just a manual set timer. I think they're going to record this for some form of reference. What's the word I'm looking for? Record. They're going to record this for some record, some proof that it happened. Keegan, are these cameras set up to transmit, or do they have a physical hard drive?
They're transmitting to a cloud.
Okay. Yeah, so we need to get in and get out without being seen, or we just shut the cameras down and handle it. But if we shut down the cameras, the Ronin knows. Are
What
there
if-
blind spots, Keegan?
Yeah, it looks like all the cameras are pointing at ground level windows, the front door, and the back door.
So we can get in through the roof.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Mark will look at Cora. Odd reference, but okay. Should we just... How are we going to do that? Do you guys want to go into the Umbra and fly onto the roof?
That'd be diff 9 to get into the Umbra. With a 5-minute
don't-
wind-up time if you
Yeah, never
only
mind.
get one success.
I say I jam technology right now, and we all go into the house.
I say you save
Wait.
that until we leave.
We have 2 minutes.
But
Yeah.
no, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Jesus Christ.
That's why
You've got 1 minute.
Like, I don't want to jump the gun on something.
And the
here,
Ronin
guys.
and the Ronin is still around.
The Ronin has left after they set up their cameras. Jam technology if you want. It seems like that's what you want.
You're jamming the technology. Okay, you're jamming the cameras, or you're jamming the explosion.
The triggering devices for the explosion.
Which would automatically do the cameras too, because the triggering device is less technically sound than the cameras. So
And what
that's going to be diff 7. It's about the same thing as an automobile spark plug.
Okay.
All right.
And
I say for GG and RT here, I think the Yellow Omen should go and cover the back entrance. The Fomori's Bane covers the front, and if he throws down jam technology, we freaking figure out what the hell goes on. And if we go in, we go in.
4 turns. They are stopped. A turn is about 10 to 6 seconds.
Okay.
So let's figure out our first step. Ill omens go around back.
Omens are going around back. That's going to be turn 1. What is Fomori's Bane doing?
we're going around front.
Yeah.
Okay.
Front.
You get around front. What do you do next? You're at the door.
Are we busting in?
Check the doorknob.
I don't mean like
Gonna-
actually like break the door down, but like, are we going in?
We need to.
Yes.
So yes.
Mark will kick down
Well,
the door.
I'm rolling to sense Wyrm and sense the
Right.
natural Keegan.
Okay. You roll sense worm, and it reeks of the worm. Horrifyingly so. Sense unnatural, mostly just worm smell coming back at you.
All right.
Can Mark kick down the door now? And as
Yeah.
Mark is kicking down the door, can he turn into Glabro?
You got to spend a point of rage to shift into the Glabro.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
All right, and then strength athletics.
Could I do my frenzy first?
Can I just ask why? If it reeks of the worm, are we trying to save
No, at this point, if it
Sure.
reeks of the worm, wherever it dwells, wherever it breeds.
the
Like-
explosions?
Okay,
We'll do that, right?
so let's get out of here, I guess. Do I need to peel it back here?
No, I mean,
I
do we let
just-
it blow up and then
Dude.
see what happens? That's not a reverse. We're at the door already kicking in, but if we've confirmed that there's like worm spawn inside, do you just lift your gift and let the damn building blow up?
Yeah.
I suppose we could do that, and if anything escapes, then we'll be here.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I guess with the new information, he'll lift the jam technology.
After
we've left.
we get out of
That's 1 turn, so it
Camera.
lifts anyway.
Yeah.
So you get out of the way, you lift, and nothing seems to crawl out as the explosions go off. And the building starts to collapse and crumble. But you notice that that the rubble lands pretty evenly, like it was meant to like squish something. But it doesn't go down, like even though all these houses clearly have like basements, it did not get into the basement level. Several windows have now blown out around you.
Were the cameras pointed at any basement level windows?
They were only pointed at the front door, ground level windows, and back door, as if to make sure
Okay.
nothing crawled out and escaped.
I
the
guess
explosions.
what I am getting at is are the windows in the basement big enough for something to crawl out through
no,
and
it's
escape?
no.
Okay.
Can I go through the recording that it transmitted into the cloud, just real quick backwards to get a description of the person walking into this building?
Yeah, and it completely matches the description that was given by the Ronin.
So this could technically be,
The spiral thurge.
yeah, the Rakthrafum.
All right, are we going to start digging?
Let's investigate.
I think we should call out. Is anyone alive? Is anyone hurt? Does anyone need help?
Can I turn the cameras off at this point?
You can.
Let me do that before we start
Sure.
calling out.
Do you want to change out of Glabro, Mark? Because Glabro is still pretty obviously supernatural.
Given that I'm almost 7 foot tall, yes.
Well, you also have
Yeah,
teeth poking out of your lips. You're covered in thick body hair.
I am giant Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
Yep, we will spend another rage.
You don't have to. You're shifting back into breed form.
Ah, okay. Never mind.
So you shift back into Haman. You guys start digging. You start digging, moving stuff, trying to look, and you find a trapdoor that goes down into the basement, like a storm door, but inside the house.
I'm going to take a guess and say if we use sense worm on that door, we'll still sense the worm.
That's probably what we were sensing all along.
Mm-hmm. This is probably what the Ronin was hoping to take out.
Or a bunch of saps. Either way.
Maybe
In we go.
And we go.
downward
Let's
and
go.
under.
I'll take the lead.
As you jump down, you see bodies hanging everywhere. Some dead, some that should be. One man with his lower jaw surgically removed and covered in glyphs on the inside, hanging from his neck like a necklace, his tongue hanging down, with the Garu glyph of pain written all over his body to try and make the body more appealing to pain spirits, to make him a Fomori. Every nail has been ripped out of his body, every body hair meticulously plucked out one by one, and a jar of teeth sits next to him with a fine razor blade cut along the earlobes, carving them out in little triangular pieces. There is another person who is held in some sort of almost stocks, held forward, her face held in place by a mechanical contraption, holding several cigarettes in her mouth at once. They've already gotten down to the filters and started to melt and burn her lips as her lungs are filling with smoke, and as she coughs them out, you see it almost come down like bowling pins and try and fit more in with a blowtorch, casually burning the smokes and burning like the hairs on the front of her face as more smoke is inhalated constantly. Another man is held screaming, horrid sores all over his genitals with various biohazard waste that has been rubbed all over his body with the glyphs of disease, pain, and a poem to Therafugue carved down into his flesh, down to the muscle, and his right leg partially skinned down to the ligaments, and letting the pus billow up and boil over into a bucket beneath him, and a self-built tunnel that moves out of this house and under some of the others, likely to go to another safe house once this one was blown.
So I'm going to change into Krynos and start putting these people out of their misery.
Misery, yes.
Yeah.
Dimitri's gonna do the same.
Is the gauntlet lower here, Keegan? Lowered just based off the activity that's taken place?
No, because it's still in the city, technically.
Still in the city. Okay.
Yeah.
Mark will start destroying, glyphs and bodies with glyphs and whatnot, and he will start making the motions to begin the rite of cleansing on this place.
All right.
So I guess Mark will go up and just start.
Well,
Hopefully no one will notice.
Down the tunnel you hear a, "Hello? How am I supposed to feel today? Hello?"
I'm gonna go down the tunnel.
Yeah, I'll go with William.
The man is held, shaking. Runes or glyphs of the Wyrm and the Wild are written all over his body. He's looking at you as he starts crying and goes, "Don't hurt me." And then he starts laughing. Please don't hurt me. Oh, unless you want to. As he's clearly trying to gauge how he is supposed to react from constant, "What is it today? Do I feel joy with pain? Do I feel laughter? Do I feel pain? Do I feel sadness? What do you want?
Keegan, Zeb will quickly investigate to see if this is connected to any other ritual that's going on in this place right now that could be putting us in danger.
So, investigating his body, the glyphs seem to be calling to a very specific kind of spirit in this experimentation. The person is still a person, but it's clear that their emotional state and their psychological state have been shattered by what could have been, judging by how some of his wounds have healed, months of torture. Oh, as he's looking at you, oh, you're just standing there. I'm supposed to do it myself today, aren't I? As he twists radically in his stocks and you hear his shoulder disconnect and he screams and then goes, I'm sorry, let me do that again, as he tries to snap it back and tries to laugh through the agony.
Yeah, Zeb will kill him.
Put him down?
Yep. And continue just to look around. So we went down the tunnel. The tunnel goes. There's more tunnel beyond where this.
Yeah, this was just a little further. Yeah,
cut out.
Okay. The tunnel keeps going though.
Can we check to see if it looks like anyone has passed through this tunnel recently, past this man?
It's clear that someone has.
I'll go ahead and continue walking down the tunnel.
Just continue to walk down the tunnel. You're moving
Yeah,
as you see kind of like fire safety sprinklers on pipes overhead as you start moving along. Yes.
Mark will have been following one, but what he's doing is he's destroying Black Spiral glyphs. He's destroying anything that could be Black Spiral related, and just kind of on the rear guard of the packs.
Zeb will gesture to William, and we'll back away from where those fire alarm, those sprinklers start. So there's sprinklers in this tunnel that have been fitted into the top of it, right?
Yes.
Is that make sure I understand that. Okay. I don't think that's for fucking water.
Nope.
Zeb is activating Spirit Ward.
Okay.
Is there anything obvious that would cause those sprinklers to go off?
Possibly smoke, though there might be a valve or something like that to activate them too, further down.
This is something that I haven't. How dark is it in the tunnels? Is there any light at all? Or
it's very dim light.
then I will spend a point of gnosis to activate cyber senses and turn my vision into, what do we say, thermal?
Thermal? Yeah.
Or I'm trying to think.
Would thermal
thermal's
pick
good.
up a console
Thermal's good.
or a valve?
No, unless there's heat. But yeah, I'll change it to thermal and try and figure out what the surroundings are. Is there any heat coming from the pipes, or is there any heat coming down the tunnel?
The pipes are unusually cool, but there is heat down the tunnel.
And the pipes run from the house, or do they stop at a certain point in the tunnel and come from the other house?
So you've been going through the tunnels for a while. You've jumped 3 or 4 houses when you went. And then at that point that's where they start up and continue forward.
Okay, so it's coming down the tunnel where we're going, not from where we're coming.
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna activate Umbral Camouflage, and I'm gonna scout ahead
Okay.
and stealth up.
Alright. As you start to stealth ahead, you hear more moaning of people. You see others still hanging, some with similar kind of horrid torture upon their body. Though this one hasn't had their jaw removed yet. You see the lines as if the spiral is going to start soon. As you hear someone kind of moaning and crying, and you hear shh, shush, shush. It's okay. It's okay. It's just a little prick, a little pin prick. As you see this woman, completely normal looking, holding 2 people's heads together and driving through a sewing needle and trying to slowly attach their skin to each other as their hair is already tied together. She goes through the bridge of the nose into one and then into the other and pulls. As she goes, if fucking vampires can do it, so can I. Yes, shush, shush. All right, now, dearie, both of you, this is going to hurt. As the one person's is trying to scream no, but her jaw is connected to the other person's, and so it's causing just pain and ripping as she takes her hand and starts pushing it down the throat of someone else.
Zeb is just going to yell, "Surprise, bitch!" And I will spend 3 rage to take 3 extra attack actions, and let's do it.
Going to Krynos too, or?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So that'd
Going
be
to
one of
Krynos
your
to
rages. Oh,
yeah, one of my rages. So yep.
All right,
extra.
go for it. She's not dodging, and she's in Hamid.
Can I let it be known that as soon as I hear that, I shift into Hispo and dart down the tunnel?
Okay, 1 sec. Now
Okay.
she gets to do a frenzy check. She doesn't. You kill her in her Hamid form as you tear her apart in front of this stitched up abomination. As they all suffer the delirium, so they're thrashing, and of course that causes the stitches to try and rip apart from each other.
I will put them down. Zeb will verify that. Okay, I mean, I know that you rolled that. Zeb is going to verify to be 100% sure that she was a freaking shape changer. Okay.
Sure.
And I guess he'll call up the team. I mean,
All right.
William already ran up.
Yeah.
I'm assuming everyone else did too.
It is at this moment there is a huge kaboom over your head, so big in fact that the basement level has cracked, and so rubble doesn't get down completely, but it's cracks, or rubble starting to come down. It's like it's going to collapse any minute, and the pipes over you burst, and you smell gasoline.
Get the fuck out. Back through the tunnel.
I'm gonna take her head as a trophy, Keegan.
Okay.
And we're gonna go.
You gonna go. All right.
Deuces.
Stamina athletics, diff 6, except for Mark, who is at diff 8, I believe, because of his lungs.
Yes.
Along with the smell of gasoline with his bad lungs.
Oh boy. We'll see what happens with 0.
Yep. So, Mark, Zeb, you're behind everyone else as you're running as fast as you can, and part of the building collapses, and it smashes into you as you both take 2 lethal damage that you're unable to regenerate right away because the building is pinning you. You are buried in rubble from your waist down, lying straight down as gasoline's leaking and splashing around your faces.
Mark,
I guess this is where I turn around and rush back to try and lift up the rubble.
Yeah, Dimitri's also going to turn back and try to help them out.
The combined strength of 20 dots will do it without the need of a roll.
Well,
I've
if
got
I shift
9.
if I shift to Krynos, I have 8. Technically, I'm in Hispo, which is 7.
I've got 8.
6 in Krynos.
So we've got enough without you shifting.
So you guys got it as you push and shove. I need a Dex Athletics from you two to crawl out in time, as you have to army crawl. The difficulty, though, is going to be 8 because you have a bunch of Krynos around you in this confined space. You can choose to shift into Hamid to reduce that difficulty to 5, but if you fail, you will take aggravated damage they have to necessarily let go, and the rubble basically, Gallagher's your foot?
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll do it, Hamid.
And you succeed.
Mark will do it in Krynos. Oh, okay, there we go.
Alright, so you succeed just barely as it comes down and you feel the hairs on the bottom of your foot pads get hit with the wind of the rubble coming down again.
Close. We need to keep running because these tunnels are getting filled with gas now.
Yeah. And probably police are coming, so out of Krynos, after we get out, probably out of Krynos and run.
Yep, run.
Zeb, you still have the head?
I do.
Alright, so you guys run. You get there as you pop out. You all shift back to Hamid, I'm assuming, as you come back out of the tunnel, given that you hear police sirens overhead. So there are at least a few police officers at the scene of the crime now.
The only way is up, so we don't have much choice in that matter.
What if we went into the Umbra and just snuck out from there?
It's possible, but it's a diff 9 roll.
Do we have a mirror?
Yeah,
Do we have a mirror?
here. Yeah, there's a mirror down here.
Yeah, there you go.
What is it? It's instant 30 seconds and 5 minutes?
5 minutes for 1 success, 30 seconds for 2 successes, instant for 1.
For 3, you mean? Yeah, but yeah.
For 3, yeah.
So instant 30 and 5 minutes.
All right, sweet. And I think both packs have a person that they roll for that because we got the pack
Yes.
one where we could just suck each other in.
Right. We'll give it a
Yeah.
give it a
Give
go.
it the old college try.
It's Gnosis and what?
Just
Just
Gnosis.
Gnosis. Straight Gnosis
Just
roll.
straight gnosis.
So that'd be me, my pack, I think. I have 8. There
We're
we
still.
go.
Oh, okay. If we still have, okay, so they're gonna cross over. If we still have time down here, I'd say Dimitri turns into a dog. William bluffs his way as a passerby, and Zeb will try to stealth out with the head. Or do we want to try to cross? I won't speak. I mean, you as players have agency here.
I think we can try and cross, and if it doesn't work out, we can go to our backup plan.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would you like to mulligan?
I mean, it's a fucking Diff 9 roll.
I mean, with 8 dice.
We have
though.
we have a backup plan.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go ahead and activate Guise of the Hound.
I'll shift into Hamid,
Okay.
and I'll roll around for like 10, 20 seconds just to get some dirt on me.
Okay.
I'm gonna
In
activate
the
my
Umbra.
stealth fetish.
All right. In the Umbra, you see the pain spirits and all the Banes looking at you as you suddenly appear before them. There's a Nexus crawler that was trying to crawl into the one dude who didn't understand how he was supposed to feel.
We're running. We're
Wow, things
As
escalated
fast as
quickly.
we can.
Yeah.
All right, as you guys try and book it the fuck out of there. Let's see. How are you running? Are you going just up the ladder? Are you... Well, let's say this. Cora, give me a strength brawl to push Banes out of the way. All right, you successfully do that. Mark, can I get a perception occult to try and get a reading on the Banes and try and distract them enough to go up the ladder?
Of course.
As you do, as you get a good distraction off, Kyle, could I get a dexterity athletics to get up there and start pulling your companions up fast enough? Unless you had a specific thought.
Oh God, no! I looked at my stuff and I was like, "Wow, I'm completely bad at this." Do we still fit up this ladder in Krynos, or do I have to be in Hamid?
You will have to be in Hamid.
Okay. All right, then I will shift.
As your companions do the same once they've knocked around some Banes and such.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so sorry. That diff was
6.
6. Thank you.
Just enough as you're pulling up, and as you get hit just a little bit by the Nexus Crawler's blast, you take 1 ag as the Chaos Blast hits your hand, and it kind of spirals up your hand in this blackened burn, revealing burnt tendons and slightly singed hair.
That was my ugly hand anyway.
And in the physical world, the cops start coming down. Freeze!
Oh God, help, please! Oh shit! No, God, help, please!
I said
Oh,
freeze!
God, help!
I said freeze!
I'm not doing anything, man.
As he freaks out and shoots Dimitri.
Help!
Wait, shoots Dimitri.
Cops always shoot fucking dogs when they're
always-
scared. It's worst plan ever. What if I turned into a dog in front of the police? Wow, why don't I just paint a giant red fucking target on my face? You know, just...
Hey, he's about to use his new maneuver, play dead.
And he can't soak this because he's in his breed form.
Oh no.
As he shoots, gun goes off, hits him as the cops like, what the fuck? As they all start unloading in every which direction. You guys need to run, and you have to figure out how to get out of here now. Zeb, you might actually catch strays because they're shooting in random directions.
All right. I will try to stealth past, and if we're remotely close together, Keegan, I'll activate Messenger's Fortitude, and the 3 of us will run at full speed away.
Okay, perfect. All right, let's get then since you're leading the group, we'll give you a +2 additional dice, but dexterity, athletics, diff 8 due to the sheer volume of bullets and the sheer random nature of them as the cops are freaking out because they also see the bodies down here.
All right. May I spend a willpower for automatic success?
No, I don't think you can willpower yourself not getting hit by bullets.
I can roll to get out of it, though.
Yeah, you sure can,
Today's
as you
the day, Zeb.
as you all shoot off. Also, don't forget for Mori's Bane, you also have 1 lethal damage because you crossed the gauntlet. As you guys reconverge, I will say that Fomori's Bane re-entered the physical realm, thus taking another point of lethal damage. What's the plan?
Well, let's present our trophy to the Sept. Tell them that the Spiral Dancer is dealt with.
Okay, when we were down there, there probably was no way to tell if any of those victims were kinfolk or not.
Yeah, you didn't have the time to really.
Yeah, fair enough.
We know some of them weren't, because they suffered the delirium at least.
Right.
Well, Kyle has perfect memory, right?
Perfect recall?
Yeah.
Or eidetic memory?
Thank you. Eidetic memory. So
What would I use it to remember?
the descriptions of people.
Oh,
So if we go back and we ask, like,
that'll work for
Sure.
some of them. Yeah.
Yeah, for the missing people, at least the ones I saw.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you got one building instead of both, but I mean, it's still something.
No, that's a great idea.
All right. So you guys. Go ahead.
My issue is this was a little too easy to find, but we can always talk about this after.
Well, no, that's fair. If we're speaking paranoia, they claimed to not know where the spiral was, but us being here threw a wrench in whatever she was planning, so she made a big show of sacrificing that spiral.
We can track down the Ronin before we go back.
Sorry, Dim.
No, that's fair. This was way too easy. I mean, I'd say that we deserve something easy for once, but nothing is ever as it seems.
No.
So you guys head back to the warehouse that Natalie Davis was. She is there.
Right.
And you'll be able to confront her next time. Thank you to everyone who listened. We'll catch you in that next episode. Bye.
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 See you then.